How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about why the Jeep XJ is now unpopular. Let's go ahead and get into the video. We've kind of kicked a dead horse for many years for views and for clout, I guess you could say. It's just spitting straight facts. And what we have done by doing budget builds and rock crawler builds and all this stuff, there's tons of different builds on YouTube. You can get on YouTube and type anything wrong with your Jeep XJ and it probably will pop up. But what we have done is drove up the price of these SUVs, and I can't find them less than $6,000 to $7,000 anymore. And back when in my early 20s, I was getting these Jeeps for $800 to $1,000, and that was, pretty decent shape. And I would just build them and tear them up. You really can't do that now. I remember when I was in my early 20s, a Wrangler would cost $6,000 to $7,000, and I always wanted one but never had enough money to get one. Well, now we're in the same boat with the XJ, and the Wranglers are higher and the XJs are in where the Wranglers were. And Jeep XJs are nowhere near, rare like the older, Wranglers were. They're not even rare at all. You can find an XJ on every town corner, every small town police department, every farm. They're everywhere. They've built billions of them, and they're not rare. It's just they are so popular with builds and aftermarket support. It has driven up the price. Magazines got a hold of them. YouTube got a hold of them. Social media in general got a hold of these things and made them something they're really not. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but they hyped these up so much that it drove the price up, I do believe. And what happens after many years of doing that and hyping it up and all that stuff, there will be a time where it'll fall. And I do believe that time is right now. So if you have a dream to own a Jeep XJ and build it up, right now is the time to buy one, get it, hold on to it, and build it, because you're not going to find them cheap anymore. Those days are over unless they're all ratted out, cut up, and stuff like that. I saw one on the internet the other day that was in mint condition, that was garage kept. They wanted $10,000 for it. That is a little high, yes, I do agree, but that is the price that you got to pay for a mint Jeep XJ. And here's the kicker: he sold it in 2 days. Somebody actually bought it. So what we've done as creators, we've hyped it up. We did builds. I'm guilty of it myself. I've done plenty of builds. I've done some redneck stuff in my backyard that has worked. There's some bigger Jeep channels, I'm not mentioning any names, that built these up, budget and rock crawler. And if you notice, they're starting to go away from the Jeep scene because they've been beating a dead horse. The same way with this channel. I've built the last Jeep build that we did, got a lot of views. We built that Jeep, safely. You could drive it on the road, and a working man, like myself, can build that. But I knew that was going to be the last build that we could do, because between me and all the other Jeep channels on here, we've beat the dead horse so much. There's only so much you can do to a vehicle. Only so much tips and tricks. There's only so many hacks. There's only so many things you can do with this vehicle. And the last build that we did turned out amazing. It was safe. We could drive it. It got used. It got abused. It blowed up. We rebuilt it. Got used and abused. Parts taken off of it and stuff like that. So that Jeep build did great. I really enjoyed that build and what we did with it and stuff like that. But if you noticed that all the other big Jeep people are starting to steer away from the XJ because they're pretty pricey, and honestly it's not worth it anymore. And a lot of views have went down on those bigger channels because they went to the next greatest thing, which I'm not mentioning what that is. There's some cheap trucks and cheap SUVs out there people are starting to buy and build up pretty decently, actually, and they go just as good as the XJ. And the parts are super simple and they're easy to rebuild. Not mentioning the brand of vehicle, because all it'll do is just drive up the price. Am I going to build one? Probably not. I still am a Jeep fan. You guys know on this channel, that I build trucks, Jeeps, Razors, and dirt bikes. I don't get a lot of views on the dirt bikes and all the other stuff, only the Jeep content, but that's the downside of YouTube. And I'm starting to see that with the bigger YouTubers. You know, they switched content and they were getting 100,000 views, you know, a day. They're getting like 20 to 30,000 views a day. The difference between them and me, I don't rely on YouTube for a job. I have a daily job I go to, you know, 9 to 5 job like everybody else, and I don't have to rely on YouTube. So that's why I just post what I want. If it gets 100 views, it gets 100 views. If it gets 5,000 views, it gets 5,000 views. If it gets 100,000 views like some of my videos have, so be it. If 2 people watch it and it helps them out, awesome. That's what it's all about for me. It's not about anything else. It's not about collecting a bunch of money and all this stuff. It's not about the sponsorships. I have sponsorships on this channel that help me out. I'm not going to lie about that. I have. That helped out a lot. But I do believe we, the creators, the magazines, the social media, have ruined the Jeep world. We drove up the prices of the Jeep XJs. Nobody wants to go off-roading anymore. They just want to sip coffee and sit in the parking lots, which I've talked about that in another video. But I do believe that if you're wanting a Jeep XJ, you better buy one like tomorrow if you have the cash. Hold on to it, fix it up the way you want, cherish it, take care of it, off-road it, and have a good time, because they're starting to go up in value, and you're not going to be able to get them cheap anymore. Like I said, I was getting them from 800 bucks to 1,500 bucks when I was younger. Them days are over. I can't even find one, you know, decent enough, you know, for 800 bucks. I found some ratted out ones, but not none that are decent enough to drive on the road. And that's what this channel is all about, is building stuff that you can take out on the weekend and drive on the road. And that's basically my opinion on why the Jeep XJ is unpopular now. A lot of people are steering away from it, and they're going a different direction, because like I said, we've beat a dead horse for years, and there's going to be a lot of upcomers that want Jeep XJs. There's going to be the people that's going to buy them. That's why our videos are going to be out there to help them out. I have tons of videos, tips and tricks that nobody has never done on my channel if you go back and actually watch. I found a person on TikTok that actually stole some of my tips and tricks, and he's sharing them like he just found those out. And that's not true, because I went and looked at the date of the video, asked him when he figured this out, and it don't line up. And then when I comment and say I did it first, my comment gets deleted. So that's the social media side of everything. But I do have a lot of tips and tricks on my channel. And like I said, this was my opinion on why the Jeep XJ is no longer popular. I believe it's dead. It's falling off. A lot of people are starting to build other things. And if you support them, you support them. If you don't, you don't. But I'd like to see the Jeep XJ, you know, community come back together like it used to be, and just have fun and build them. Because don't forget what it really is. It's not something that's rare. They made billions of them, and they're not the most luxury thing in the world. So let's not forget that. And it's getting to the point where it's like an old truck, you know what I mean? You can hardly get a hold of them because people think they have gold. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. I'm Cherokee Ronnie. Stay dirty, my friends.